Hi guys, this is Wahyu Madio. I am MBA student of IPMI International Business School. I'm going to share with you about corporate finance subject with the lecturer's name of Professor Roy Sembel. And this is my day of corporate finance. Enjoy! Okay guys, when we talk about financial management, by definition, it means that we need to find out an optimal orchestration of internal and external resources towards significant and sustainable value creations. It means that we need to be able to create value that is sustainable and significant as well. Before we go further, we need to understand first about the corporate finance building blocks. There are three items that we need to understand about these blocks. The first one is regarding the business conduct. The second one is regarding the management point of view. It means that the inside-out perspective. And the third one is regarding the investor point of view. It means the outside-in perspective. Okay guys, let's continue. To make the discussion easier to understand, please allow me to jump into the second building block first, and we will discuss the first building block at the end of the discussion later. As the management of the company's point of view, the management need to understand several points as follow. First, goal of the firms. We've discussed this earlier. Second, understanding principal agent problem, where there is a potential conflict of interest between the management of the company and the shareholders. For that reason, we need to be able to manage this potential risk. Third, value creation principle by Ram Charan, whereby according to him, there are four essential business building blocks. They are customers or sales revenue, cash from operations, velocity or return on invested capital or return on asset, and revenue growth. Fourth, the management of the company should also know the source of corporation to create value. They are tangible asset, consists of physical and financial assets. Intangible assets consists of patent, goodwill, intellectual asset, human resources, and many more. Fifth, to complete all of the above, please be noted that we also need to focus on sustainability, good corporate governance or GCG, and environment and social governance or ESG when run the company in order for the company to live long for years to come. The management of the company also need to understand on how to manage assets and liabilities of the company in order to create more value. They need to understand about first investment, especially in regard to capital budgeting, which consists theory of net present value, NPV, internal rate of returns, IRR, profitability index, PI, and payback periods. Second, financing, especially regarding finding out the optimum capital structure, the optimum composition between equity and bank debt. As a result, there will be a tax benefit to receive. We also need to understand the stress factors of the company or industry. In example, startup company compared to established company will have different capital structures and valuation approach. Third, financial risk management consists of foreign exchange risk, interest rate risk, and futures market risk. Fourth, corporate restructuring, a case study regarding leverage buyout or LBO in the name of Nabisco, where we learned that post of transactions, as the new shareholders, we could receive a tax benefit through optimizing the company's capital structure and minimizing conglomerate discount factors. The management of the company also need to understand about total shareholders return or TSR, where it consists of stock return and dividend received. As we could see, TSR also consider dividend or dividend payout ratio to compute the total value creations for the shareholders. Why? Because it gives tax benefit for the majority shareholders, and it also gives positive signal that the money is true exists in the company. In other words, actions speaks louder than words. Okay guys, we've taken our workout, and that now we are going to dress up, yeah. Dress to impress. See you. Okay guys, we return back the shoes that we used during workout. And now, as I dominantly use blue, then we need to choose kick that contains blue as well. Which one, yeah? How about this kick? Nice, right? Now, we move to financial management from the investor's perspective, outside in, where their main principles are: first, the importance to understand the story of the numbers and the people behind the numbers as well. Second, return on risk concept. High risk, high return. Low risk, low return. And no risk still have a risk-free return, because delaying our consumption to the investment we made. Whereas the risk can be classified into two categories, such as first, systematic risk, and second, unsystematic risk. Where unsystematic risk will still have a room to be reduced the risk through diversifications. Subsequently, there is efficient frontier portfolio concept found by Harry Markowitz to determine the most return to risk efficiently portfolio. In addition, capital asset pricing model or CAPM formula also came into the picture to make this more concrete and relevant for the investor to use. The CAPM found by the Nobel Prize winner William Sharpe. Next, investors also need to understand underlying strategy for their investments. First, time value of money concept. Introduce the rule of 72 to compute how long does it take to double our money. Hence, by dividing 72 with our annual compound interest rate, or I%. Second, methodology used in doing the analysis. First, fundamental analysis, which including financial statement analysis of the company. And second, technical analysis. Throughout the study, we also learn practical financial strategy from the expert and other sources, such as first, book review, where in my case, we do a book review written by Ram Charan, a finance professor from India, regarding value creations, with title of the book is What the CEO Wants You to Know. Second, corporate event review. We analyze corporate restructuring event conducted by Bukalapak recently. Okay guys, we are now back to discuss the first corporate finance building blocks, that is business conduct. The business conduct consists of following items. They are: first, fraud risk management. Triangle of fraud theory consists of opportunity, pressures, rationalizations. Second, occupational fraud and abuse. They are corruptions, asset misappropriations, and fraudulent statement. Third, the 7 financial shenanigans or dishonest activities. First, booking revenue too soon. Second, booking bogus or fake revenue. Third, boosting income with one-time gain. Fourth, shifting current expenses to a later or earlier period. Fifth, shifting future expenses to current period. Sixth, failing disclose all liabilities. 7. Shifting current income to a later period. The fourth item of business conduct is fraud preventions. There are several proposed actions that might be considered to take as follow. First, build employee ethics. Second, design anti-fraud control. Third, train the employees. Fourth, protective security, both hardware and software. And the fifth, whistleblower mechanism. There is a finding fact about who potentially made fraudulent activities based on the statistic. There is a group of people with characteristics as follow. Hopefully you're not one of them, right? First, male. Second, middle income. Third, age between 41 up to 50 years old. Four, more than 10 years of work in a company. And fifth, undergraduate and postgraduate university degree. Are you one of them? Interesting to know, right? Building ethics as part of fraudulent prevention consists of several interesting discussions. They are: first, unethical versus illegal. Second, ethical behavior is a must. Third, greed, for lack of better word, is good, which means patience for improvement. Fourth, learning from movies. In my case, the movie title was Other People's Money. This is regarding LBO and liquidations. Fifth, to consider using a combination of 4 types of incentives below. First, physicals. Second, monetary. Third, social. And moral. And to the best extent possible, please consider to use non-monetary first. Last but not least, this is the financial management subject structure that we've been discussed just now, to make it easier for you guys to understand. Hope this will be beneficial to you to help you understand better about financial management structure. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time, guys. Cheers.